Very well. Very happy to see all your faces online. All right, well, we might get underway, and anyone else that logs on, I'll just admit them as they come in. So before we got into it today, I just wanted to acknowledge that I'm on Wadi Wadi country, and that's the country of the Tharawal people down in the Illawarra, south of Sydney. And I just wanted to pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging, for all they've done to protect and nourish the country that we all, or many of us, call home. So thank you everyone for joining on for our first Spring into Scavenge webinar tonight. I think, well, for many of us, we might have been rushing to get here. So I thought we could all just do a mindful breath together and to arrive not just physically but also mentally into today's chat. So if everyone wants to take a deep breath in through their nose and then out through their mouth, we can do a nice collective breath together all over the country. So deep breath in and out. Cool. So I'm AJ, and we've got Katie and Ina on here who are also part of the Scavenge core team. So I'll let them introduce themselves. Katie, if you want to start.
Take it off. No worries. Okay. So my name's Katie, as AJ mentioned. I'm the marketing coordinator for for SiS Scavenge. I've been with the Scavenge for about 5 months now, and it's been amazing. It's been an awesome journey. We've been rolling out some really cool things, and I helped to create the marketing campaign for Spring into Scavenge, which was so great because that's why you're all here. Yeah, so that's pretty much me.
Okay, then I'll continue. I'm Ina. I'm from Germany originally. I came to Sydney just in January to do an exchange semester in Sydney at UNSW. And then since I kind of got stuck here because of COVID, I decided I wanted to do something useful and joined SiS Scavenge just, I think, 2 to 3 weeks ago, so quite recently. And I'm now coordinating this Spring into Scavenge program. And yeah, so if you have any questions, it will be me answering the emails. So yeah, lovely to meet you all.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll be the core people that you can touch base with if you need any help, and you'll be hearing from us regularly, hopefully not too much. Ina, did you just want to go over the housekeeping for the meeting?
Yeah, sure. So we would like these kind of meetings to just be a space for you to share any kind of questions you have, or any ideas about your Scavenge, and also maybe challenges you face, but then of course just be respectful of each other. So when you have a question, it's probably best to just write it in the chat box, and then we get back to you at the end. We will have a little Q&A part of the meeting, and then probably also just mute your microphone in case you're not speaking, because that makes the whole process a bit easier. And then if you could all enable your tile view, so that's at the bottom, no, at the top right corner, then we can all see each other's faces. It would be nice if you all enable your camera so we get to know each other a bit more. And yeah, so but think if you have any problems with login or handling that, just stay on at the end, and then we make sure that we show you. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. So thanks, Ina. As tonight and all these webinars are really about an opportunity for all of you as coordinators to share and meet one another, I thought that the best thing to do tonight would be for everyone to just introduce yourself, where you are, and something nice or maybe a waste-wise trick you've picked up during COVID and spending so much time at home. Being mindful that there's a few people on the call, so try and keep it short, but add as much in as you like. So maybe we'll start with, I'll go around from, who have we got? Let's start with Beck.
Yeah, I'm Beck and I'm in Geelong. I actually attended a seaside scavenge in Rye in 2016. I think it might have been your first one. And that was really cool. I volunteered for Sea Shepherd a few times, and I just recently moved to this area maybe 2 years ago. So I just wanted to get involved when I saw that this was a program that you could run yourself. And I think the Torquay community where I want to host it will be really receptible to it, because they're just always up for that kind of waste initiative, like recycling and everything.
Awesome. What about you, Emma?
I'm in Jindabyne. I helped out with the Scavenge last year, and with my work I run clean-up events. So I work for Thredbo Resort in the environment department. So yeah, kind of like my job.
Any waste-wise tips you've learned during COVID?
Not really during COVID. We've been going to work, so nothing's changed for us here. I don't know.
No?
I don't know, there's so many.
All good. I thought I should actually share mine. I've been learning to crochet so that I can replace my dishcloths with crocheted cloths. How about you, Lockie?
Yeah, so I'm based in Sydney, in Balmain. Moved back here kind of just before COVID. I was in Canberra for 6 years, and I was kind of working with a group called Trash Gather now. So they do very similar things to what Seaside does. They're just a bit younger. Yeah, I guess that's like my main connection. I haven't been to a seaside scavenge yet. So yeah, and then I saw this, which was posted by them. And yeah, thought that'd be awesome. So here I am.
Cool. How about you, Jessie? How did you get involved, in any waste-wise tips or anything cool you've picked up through COVID?
So before COVID, I've started using the shampoo bars and conditioner bars, so there's no bottles. But I realized that your hair do need to adapt to it, so it's a good time because we can just stay home even though my hair got messed up, it's okay. And now, yeah, I think I've transitioned into using those, so that's good.
Awesome. And where are you?
So I'm in Sydney. So I'm based in Hurstville, but I'm working with my colleague Annabelle. She's not able to make it today, and we're planning to do something in Parramatta.
Cool. Sounds good. Sophie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I am in Waterloo in Sydney, and haven't quite fixed it yet, but thinking of doing an inner city scavenge, maybe in Redfern. But I've acquired a Corona puppy, and she is obsessed with rubbish. So every time she finds rubbish on our walks, we pick it up and put it in the bin. So we're trying to incrementally clean up our area.
That's amazing. We all need to train our dogs and pets to do that. Maybe you could try your birds, Chad. They could like scavenge out and retrieve bottle caps or something.
Yeah.
Charlotte, would you like to share where you are and anything you've learned through having some more spare time over the last few months?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone. I'm based in Brisbane, but I'm actually going to partner with Murray to do an event down on the Gold Coast. So I'm actually quite new to Brisbane from the UK, moved here for work. So keen to meet some other people. So good to see you all. The tip that I've learned in being in lockdown is I actually convinced my partner to bring home an old pallet from work, and I've turned it into like a vertical herb garden. So I'll send you guys a picture, but it's pretty cool. My herbs are slow, like I keep killing them, but I'm getting there.
That's
nice.
awesome.
That's great. And Chris, would you like to introduce yourself? Oh.
In Manly.
and I had a bit of extra time during COVID. I've been working throughout the whole time, but just the regular hours, which is great. That's how I found out about bit more about Seaside and all that. But I guess I had a bit more time to start going to the bulk store and exploring more and more. And I'm trying as much as I can to buy all the products from them, to kind of avoid all the packaging.
That's great. What's your local bulk food store in Manly?
So there is a couple. There is the Naked Foods, and then there is one that is called Manly Food Co. There are like community ones, and they are really good.
Perfect. Yeah, I know the co-op. It's a great community group. Cool. Thanks, Chris. Sarah, would you like to introduce yourself and where you are?
Hello. I was just about to write in chat. I love Portia, what she's written in her name. Everyone can see she just changed it. Hi, I'm from Sydney, southern Sydney, so Cronulla, so Sutherland Shire. And I started up So Shire in the background, and Plastic Free Sutherland Shire. I did my first Seaside Scavenge with Josh last year. Well, yes, December last year, so nearly a year almost. And it was great to have him, dealing with the council and everything like that. So I'm running it again, hopefully, if COVID lets us. So I'm very excited. My waste-wise tip, well, we finally got off our butts and put together the compost bin. And we have another one that's meant to go in the ground as well. So that's been interesting. I thought it would be like the miracle product. I could put, my compostable containers in, and I've learnt very quickly the worms needed a few months just to get used to being there. So they finally ate the bread from about 3 months ago. So I that's a win. But yeah, I've learnt I'm going to need a bigger compost if I'm going to keep on spruiking these compostable containers.
Yeah. Worms a little bit of home warming, settling time.
That's right.
Cool. Thanks, Sarah. Luke, can you introduce yourself and share with us?
Hey everyone, I'm Luke. I'm on Northern Rivers, so inland from Byron Bay, at a place called Lismore, which is where I'll do my scavenge. I attended the Seaside Scavenge in Byron Bay last year, and I found out about the whole Seaside Scavenge when my mum, whose name is Anna, sent me a link for AJ and her Seaside Scavenge a couple of years ago. So it's kind of a weird, surreal sort of, one Anna to another Anna. Like, I thought was always really cool. And then my tip, I've been sitting here going, what am I going to say? None of them seem like they're that good. So at the moment, I think I'll pass on that one at the moment.
Sure thing. It's been great to have Luke join the team, because we were in touch over 2 years ago trying to figure out how he could run one. So it's finally a course that can facilitate that. So thanks for registering. Em, do you want to introduce yourself, please, to the group?
Hello, I'm in Rye, and I did my first Seaside Scavenge last year. No, started this year, sorry. And I did my conservation and land management studies last year, and I just really wanted to do something along those lines, I guess, and I got asked to do it. I'm excited to do it down here again. And as for a tip, in the last few months, I've been, AJ, I'll probably tell you, I stood on a stingray. So I've actually been bed bound for 2 months. So probably the only thing that I got to make new in my house was I reused bread bags to cover my foot when I had a shower. Over and over and over and over again. And it's probably the best thing that I've learned.
No.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm sure those bread bags appreciated a second lease of life. So
They did.
yeah, good work. Portia, I'll unmute you.
Hello everyone, my name is Portia and I'm coming at you from Gambangia country in Coffs Harbour. I have played music at a few scavengers and it has always been an incredible experience filled with community and just beautiful humans doing epic things for the planet. So it's been a really awesome space to play music at. And something I've been doing here has been scavenging for us for the compost, and it's been really fun tapping into the waste streams in the Coffs Harbour area and just how much is available to use that's free and otherwise would just be thrown out. It's been awesome.
Great circular economy.
Yeah.
Out there. Be good workshops to bring into your Scavenge. Cool. So I'm not sure. It's Ian's iPad, but I'm not sure.
Hi, this is Julie. So I'm not Ian, I'm Julie.
Yeah.
But he's just commandeered the iPad, so that's why it's got his name on, just to make sure nobody else takes it. Anyway, I live in Sydney, and I've been to a couple of seaside scavengers around the Mossman area, and I help out with the sustainability projects at the zoo, volunteering for different environment days and workshops and things like that. So I'm really keen to sort of get involved and see what we can do for our community. There's a couple of things, I guess, that I try to do in terms of recycling. We've got, basically we've picked up, I think now we're onto our 4th compost bin that we've now picked up from the Verge, and they're all full. So we've got a lot of composting that's going on here. And I've got 2 worm bins, and I've got lots of worms here, but they really like a bit of coffee, so all the coffee grounds go into the worms, so they live on a bit of a high. And what they don't have goes into the garden for a fertilizer. But my other new top tip is chop up all your banana peels, put them in water for 24 to 48 hours, and you get a really nice potassium-rich fertilizer for the veggie. So it's really nice. It smells lovely. It's like fermented banana.
Is that to put through the garden or to put through the worm farm?
The banana skins eventually go back into the worm farm, but the water is used because it contains the potassium from the skins, and that goes into the vegetables, to water the vegetables. So it's got 2 uses.
Great tip. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Okay, cool. So Murray, are you there?
Hey everyone. I can't tell if my video is on or not, actually.
It's not on. We can't see you. But if you go down to the bottom left-hand corner, it usually has a button that says like a video camera, and if you unclick that.
Yeah, it should be on. It's not on doesn't have the across through it.
Oh well, it might be something to do with your camera, potentially.
Maybe. All right. Well, I'm from the Gold Coast. I found out about the Scavenge through the Gold Coast chapter of Surf Rider Foundation. I've been on that for a little while, and I just wanted to have a go at creating more community events and engaging and just getting to know everyone in my community. And I'll be teaming up with Charlotte for that, so I'm super excited. And yeah, I've started a worm farm. I'd show you, but it doesn't seem to be working at the moment. But yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Murray. Ben, I'll unmute you.
Perfect. Hey everybody, my name is Ben. I live in Sydney, the area of Waterloo.
I'll be doing my scavenge with Christina and Katya, that I think she's here now, in Manly. This is my first scavenge. I actually signed up thinking it was just a normal scavenge, not that I was going to organize it, but I'm actually quite excited. This is not actually a tip that I'm doing now, but we actually started doing this with my partner. Our shower takes long to actually heat up. So we have a bucket inside that we fill up, and then we just reuse that water for watering the plants or the washing machine.
I do that too.
Me too. Good. Yeah, because even if you have a bucket in the shower, like under while you're showering, it collects heaps of the excess water that kind of leaches off you, and it's amazingly kind of shocking to realize how much water we use in a shower.
So much waste, yeah.
Yeah, and toilets. Do you know flushing a toilet uses 11 liters of water? Crazy.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, yeah, insane. Anyway, moving on. Good tip. Chad, would you like to introduce yourself now? Not just your parrots and birds.
Not my birds. I'm Chad, and I've been running Plastic Producer for the last 3 years. So that's been a very fun project, and I've never done a seaside scavenge, so this seems really exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I can't say that I've learned much with waste during COVID, but I've been having a lot more fun with waste, particularly with the bin isolation outings page. I don't know if anyone's seen that, but that's been pretty fun. And I've been at home sewing boomerang bags, so that's been my other thing to do. So that's been nice.
Cool. Do you want to tell everyone what boomerang bags is, just in case they don't know?
Oh yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, that's a great community organization where you can set up a chapter in your area if there isn't one already, and it's just volunteers taking old scraps of cloth and turning them into carry bags to replace single-use plastic bags. And yeah, it's really fun. It's really easy. Yeah, you should do it.
Yeah, it's a pretty epic organization if you haven't heard of them. They started in Burleigh Heads, and now I think they have like 1,300 groups all over the world. So if you know anyone that likes to sew, you should send them their link. And yes, Murray, you got your camera working. Hello. Jasmine, are you there? Would you like to share?
Hi, so I'm on the sunny coast, and I learned about the Scavenge when my friend Poppy asked me to co-host an event with her. Yeah, so I haven't really heard about it much until like just recently, so I'm still learning like what it's all about. So minimizing waste tips over COVID. So I've learned how to like sew so I can like mend all my old clothes, which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. And you run, is it Visionary Ocean Warrior up on the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that?
So essentially it's like a group of us. We run monthly beach cleanups down at our local beach, and yeah, we try to like spread awareness about minimizing use of single-use plastics and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, awesome. And you and Poppy are still in school, right?
Yeah. I actually turn 16 tomorrow, which is exciting. So yeah.
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. And we just had Lara jump on from Tassie. Are you there?
I am.
We're just introducing ourselves, where we are, and any waste-wise or any tips you've learnt during lockdown. No pressure.
I haven't learned anything. I totally redid my backyard and now have a full veggie patch and 3 worm farms, and I'm going crazy.
Epic.
Compost bins everywhere. Yeah. So that's me.
That's pretty good. And you're in Kingston Beach, right?
Yeah, in Tassie.
Whereabouts is that?
Just south of Hobart.
Cool.
Yeah, Tassie is very environmentally aware, most of it anyway.
That's how we've got to get the rest of Australia. So yeah. That's what you guys will all be doing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's everyone for now. So lovely to meet you. No, all good. Yeah, these meetings are just like optional. You can tune in whenever. They're an opportunity to ask questions and really connect with each other. This group and the program is really as much about like doing the course and running the event, as well as like connecting with the other coordinators. When I started the Scavenge, like the most valuable thing was all the people that I met along the way. And the great thing about this program is that there's so many of you in diverse places that it's going to be a really cool network that we establish. And, you know, when you travel to different places, or, you know, even just sharing different ideas that work in different contexts is going to be really valuable for all of you. So I thought it would be good to get your input on what sort of platform we'd like to use to communicate with each other. So the idea is that obviously there's the emails that Ina and I will send out weekly with the course content and the reminders of things that you need to get in and back to us with. But ideally we'll also have some, and then there'll be these Q&As every fortnight, but ideally there'll be something in between so that we can just chuck up questions or, you know, share photos or ideas or anything that's really going on for each of us, not just necessarily even an event, but in the community. So I've tried to set up a poll. I'm going to see if it works. And basically just select which I've put up their Facebook groups, Facebook thread, WhatsApp, or email, or Slack, or if there's any other platforms that people know of.
Hello.
Can everyone see that? Cool.
What's Slack?
Slack.
I've never used Slack before.
It's another application, like a project management tool for a lot of businesses use it. It's basically like a messenger app.
Okay, cool.
And it comes up like so in my dashboard, it comes up there. But it is another application that people need to have. So I'm aware that a lot of people don't use it so much. But it is super helpful.
Is Slack similar to Trello?
No.
Not really, I don't think.
No, it's a messenger. So it's like just a message tool for office groups.
Okay.
Yeah, Trello's more of like you put in the tasks, right? And then allocate them. I think Trello could be, if you're looking for a project management tool to manage your own event, like with your coordinators or your team, it would be a good platform to use. But for communicating with the rest of the group, it's probably not that essential.
Okay.
Has everyone voted? I think it might just be waiting on, yeah.
How did you do that?
You go to Zoom, your account, and you have to enable Zoom. Sorry, you have to enable polling. I can send you a link how to do it after.
Oh, that's cool. I can wait now. That's cool.
Yeah, and then you just click it along the bottom. Awesome. So we had 6 people vote for Facebook group, 7% vote for WhatsApp group, 3 for Slack, none for Facebook thread, 1 for email, and none for other. So
I can go to Facebook, I don't mind.
We might also put it to the rest of the community as well, through a poll, through a survey, and just see as well. The only problem that I find with WhatsApp is that it just gets quite busy and you lose what everyone's posted because you have to scroll through. But we could also set up both, but then I know that that's overwhelming. So we'll keep working on that and keep you posted. But thanks for your votes.
Just a suggestion, what about Teams? And I don't know about how to go about obtaining Teams because I use it through work, but it's a really good platform as well.
Teams, okay.
Yeah, Microsoft Teams. And it's quite good because you can have like a thread, but you can also post files or pictures or like set up actions, and it kind of covers a real breadth of different things.
Okay.
It's awesome, but because it's Microsoft, heaps of people don't have it.
Yeah, I wondered if that might be an issue.
Yeah.
Do you have to have Windows?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, we'll investigate. Ina, can you make note of that? What was the application? I just forgot.
Teams.
Teams. I'll write it down.
Cool. Thank you. Awesome. So I thought now, well, a lot of you have already jumped onto Thinkific and have returned your letters of acceptance. So basically, this week and next week, it'd be great if you can get onto Thinkific if you haven't already and go through the course content. And then the actual content of the event coordination and the program development will really start on next Friday, the 26th. So then the program will start from there for 14 weeks, and we'll have the fortnightly catch-ups, and each week will be pretty explicit in what you'll be working on. There'll be content within the course that explains like different elements of the event coordination and also couples it with the skills development for leadership. The way it kind of works is like the first 4 weeks are more focused on personal development, and then once we're into the like weeks 5 to 9, it's more the logistics, and then 10 to 14 is really like getting the actual promoting the event, organizing the volunteers and that sort of stuff. But I thought I would just open it up now for anyone that has any questions about the program, or anything about the program, or anything in general about Seaside Scavenge as well. Feel free to unmute yourself if you want, or if there's no questions, we must have done such a good job.
I just had a housekeeping question.
Yeah.
I think in one of the first emails you said there was some like Dropbox folder of like documents and templates and stuff. Have you not given that to us yet, or have I lost how I was meant to get that?
The toolkit?
Yeah.
There was a link, but we can reshare that in the... Portia, you were able to jump onto the toolkit, weren't you? Yeah.
I found that just earlier, and you could get it through that the first link you sent us. There was a underlined part that said toolkit that took me to the drive.
Okay. We'll include it. We're going to send out Sophie an email tomorrow with the webinar recording and a couple of other things. Ina, could you make note to include in there a link to the toolkit, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, the toolkit basically has like weeks 1 to 15 sort of broken up into the different elements, and there's basically in the toolkit just templates that we've created to email people or to write media releases or that sort of stuff. And then you'll also have your own individual G drive for each of your events, where you'll collect all your like event permits, like your volunteer lists, your stakeholder spreadsheets and stuff like that, so which you'll be able to share with your other committee members or your other volunteers, and that'll be like a working living and breathing thing that you add to and work with. So that, yeah, there's a few different things. There's Thinkific, there's your like the template toolkit, and then there's your G drive, and then you'll be getting emails. Cool. Any other questions or queries? Anything? We're here to answer them all if we can.
I have a question in regards to the location, like where you will do your event.
Sure.
So basically, we had a walk around Manly trying to figure out where we're going to do it, but everywhere seems so clean.
Yeah.
So we're like, which is great. I mean, no complaining. But in regards to like choosing our location, it's just, yeah, we can't find a place that it's either dirty enough or that the council is not cleaning constantly.
Sure. So we will go into like looking at location more specifically, but honestly, nowhere is clean. There's rubbish everywhere as long as people have a look. And you'll be surprised, you know, people when they come to the Scavenge, they're not necessarily going out to do like a huge cleanup and pick up like a whole bag of litter. They're often incentivized to come and like buy it. Like they'll see something on the rack that they'll want to buy, and then they might need 20 pieces of litter. So then they go out and actually find those 20 pieces of litter. But if you are looking at a location where you think the foot traffic is really good and you have to do it there, you can identify like litter hotspots nearby, and you can kind of broaden the area of where people can scavenge. So I know, for example, like Manly Beach might be a bit cleaner, but I know Manly Cove has heaps of rubbish, like especially in the grassy area where like there's lots of cigarette butts and lots of little litters. I know that the Cove gets a lot because it's in the wharf and the ferry comes in there as well. So I don't think, and Manly is like more of a relatively clean beach, but it'd be about trying to find spots where there are litter, hot spots basically, and then you can have a map on your registration table where you kind of like just mark or highlight or whatever where people couldn't go. Yeah, I think you will find though, like we've done a bunch of events at Manly and the litter haul is lower, but it's all the little stuff that matters the most anyway, and there's a lot of that. So yeah, I think the main things for location are really like you want to be in a high foot traffic area because a lot of the people that participate will be passing by on the day. So you want to have the visibility for people that are also coming down to find you. You want it to have some grass and shade so that you're protected from the sun, and you can, you know, if there is wind, it might block it out a little bit. And also trees often create a nice space. You want to kind of think about your event like a big hug so that, you know, when people walk into it, they feel like, you know, it creates a big like space around them and they feel like they're in like a vibe or in something. So that's, I try and think about when I'm setting up an event, like what kind of features there are around the space so that you can, you know, put the sorting station somewhere that's easy to see because that's something where all the litter is and it's quite eye-catching for passers-by. But you're also, when you have the musicians, you want somewhere nice that the people that are participating or even passers-by can sit down and listen. So there's quite a few traits that you can look for in an event. But I think, and obviously primarily like looking after people's safety, that it's not really close to a road, that it's not on like near a cliff, or like that there's not like major obstacles anywhere. But yeah, I don't think you need to worry too much about the rubbish. People will always manage to find something, but you can find litter hotspots and mark it around the area and just say like send people to specific areas if they're really struggling.
With your signage, do we have to find somewhere to do the laser cutting ourselves, or like, because I saw one of the toolkits has all that stuff, or do we get it sent?
The signage, so we won't do, the way that you guys will do your signage is you'll basically like make it. So when I started the Scavenge, I just painted all the signs with like, I got the volunteers together and we did like a paint afternoon and we just made up the signs on cardboard and then used twine to attach it to the clothes racks or to the sorting station. We will send you a big banner to kind of like highlight the event, and also hopefully it will have some waste and litter separation information on the back of it. But all the signage will be up to you to make. The stuff that we'll send you will be like a safety, what's it called? Like a disposal for sharps, for a container, like a hazardous sharps container, scales, like weight, electronic scales, a banner, hand sanitizer, hopefully gloves, we're just trying to figure out how to get everything to you at the moment. I think we're looking at potentially trying to get some sponsors that are across a lot of the regions that you're in, so you can actually go and pick it up.
Bunnings is really good. They gave me a bunch of gloves, even kid-sized gloves. I've got like 100 gloves.
Okay. Yeah, because it'd be good to know, especially from if some of you do run cleanups, like what sort of equipment you do need and what you don't, because then we won't have to send it to you. Because ideally we don't want to have to get like heaps of material made to send to you that you may not necessarily use again, because it defeats the purpose. But we also want you to have all the equipment ready to ensure the safety of everyone and just like make the event run smoothly. But a lot of the equipment you'll be sourcing yourselves, and this will just involve like pretty much scavenging through like roadside, like people putting out their stuff for like waste collect, what's it called, like furniture pickup days.
Hard waste,
hard waste. So like a lot of the clothes racks and like tables and things, when I started the Scavenge, I just found on the side of the road. So start keeping an eye out for that sort of thing. Also like community groups, or you might have people that run clothes swaps in your area, who you could also hit up to borrow their stuff for the day. But yeah, signage, you'll primarily be responsible just for making, really. And we'll send you through like templates of how to write them up, but it's pretty simple.
Yep.
Pretty simple stuff. We'd love to send you all laser cut signs, but unfortunately we don't have the budget. And also,
I wasn't sure if you wanted us to stick to a certain like design for Seaside Scavenge.
No, we'll just have the main banner, and then you can add your artistic flair to all of your own events.
Cool.
AJ, could you maybe like send us like a stencil or something, and we can paint over, like we can print the stencil, cut it out a piece, like at least maybe like the type font is maybe.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Something that we can just print ourselves, or you know what I mean, and then work out from there.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Ina, can you note that down? I'll figure out how to. Thank you. Good idea, Sarah.
Oh, no, it's just personal, because I know my free hand ain't going to be as good as
you should have seen some of the signs that I made for the first events. They were, that's why they're laser cut now. Does anyone else have anything they want to add, or any questions?
I just want to add that with the gloves, just landscaping gloves, any gardening gloves, just ask people to bring their gardening gloves from home.
Yeah, so it's going to be a bit tricky with COVID, because we're not going to be able to have probably shared materials. Like, for example, usually at the Scavenge we have like a whole bunch of bags and a whole bunch of gloves, and everyone reuses them on the day, and then they get washed after the event. But we won't be able to do it like that for COVID, because we won't be able to have like multiple people wearing the same gloves. So what I anticipate happening is that we provide everyone with like a certain number of gloves, maybe it's 30 or around that. And then in all your event promotion, you ask people to bring their own gloves. And they do need gloves to register. And you'll have some there, but if they're all used by the time they get there, then they'll have to go buy some, or I don't know. We're still trying to plan around how to do this COVID, involving COVID. But yeah, primarily asking people to bring their own will be the best. We don't want to just supply like those single-use ones, so that just defeats the purpose. So it'll be like reusable material gloves that you'll have, but then asking everyone to bring some too.
Is that part of the insurance that they need to have gloves to register?
Yeah.
Luke, was it you who said that Bunnings gave you a bunch of gloves?
Yeah.
Like what gloves? Like gardening gloves?
Yeah, gardening gloves.
That's awesome.
Yes, I ran a cleanup. Yeah, so if you write a thing, and didn't you say, Anna, that there's like a request, you've got a form or something in your kit? I don't have the kit link yet, but I remember reading on your Scavengers thing that there was like a template that you could do that. So if you've got Bunnings in the area, you could say, I need a table, a tarp, whatever's on the checklist, and you can, because it's got the SiS Scavenge banner, you can put that in, and then unless they are helping someone else, they're actually pretty good and will help you. Just ask for the entertainment support director, or it's a complicated name. Hang on, I'll look it up. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, they did it for us here in Sydney. The type of gloves we got are they're like the material leathery kind of ones, so they're a bit hard to rewash. I don't know which ones Luke got, but I find the better ones are kind of like the Clean Up Australia ones. You know, they've got the wax on it because you can wash them, and as long as you don't do it on a hot wash, you can just chuck them in the washing machine and dry them out on the line. I found the Bunnings ones, they're not so good to rewash, but they're great. Yeah, they did it for Bunnings too. They just gave us those big ones. But yeah, so I guess I haven't gone into a Bunnings in a long time. What range they have, you might be able to ask for a specific type of glove if you want to push the friendship that far.
Yeah.
Well, I can take them home so that it's a...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the activities organizer, just to clarify that, is who does that.
Yeah, because we were looking at whether we would actually try and get Bunnings as like a major sponsor, and then so that all of you could try and just be able to go to your local Bunnings and pick up stuff. I know that some of you don't have Bunnings near you, like Jindabyne has Mitre 10, but you'll definitely get sponsorship from Mitre 10. We've had that from Jindabyne before. But if there are any of you that are comfortable, just reaching out to your local Bunnings to see if they could get involved, I think that it would be easier that way as well, because the local business often likes to be working locally rather than it's harder to do it nationally. But we're just working that all out. So as you can see, there's still a lot of elements that are unfolding as we do the course. Just so you know, we kind of changed the way that we were going to run the course as COVID started. So you'll just have to bear with us as you're the first kind of cohort to go through this style of program, and obviously would love along the way any feedback or ideas on how to do it better. So yeah, just give us your patience as well, please. Cool. Does anyone have any other questions or queries that you want to clarify about, event stuff, online stuff, course outline, when to run the event, anything about COVID?
Is it hard to get permits from the council for these kind of things? Because I've never done an event management before.
No. The only thing with council is just about finding your getting in touch with the right person. So next week or the first week, we recommend trying to find the waste and sustainability person within the council, because they'll be your major ally through organising the event, because they love seeing this stuff happen, because you're doing their job for them. And then what's challenging is the event permits team. You'll soon learn that no one in council talks to one another. The groups or teams are really isolated, and they don't really communicate. So you might be applying for an event permit, and if you haven't spoken to the waste and sustainability team, they actually won't let the waste and sustainability team know, even though it's a super aligned event with their outcomes and objectives. So it's important first to find someone on that waste and sustainability team, and then get them to link you with the events permit team. The challenge with the permit team is that they often want to charge you to run an event, or charge us, but as we have charity status, that usually works to waive the fees. But sometimes they do have an administration fee, I don't know, it's for processing the permit, and it's around $80. Which we'll pay if we have to, but we'll really try and
get around it, because realistically,
as you guys are all running these events and there's no, monetary gain to anybody, it should be provided in kind. So councils usually, it really varies council to council and how involved and aware or environmentally conscious your council is, but most of the time they're really supportive. But it's about trying to find a good contact initially, and also just getting your event permit in early is like trying to do everything as early as possible with councils, the best, because they love you for that. But obviously we have to take into account that COVID is currently underway, so permits, some councils aren't allowing permits to be submitted at the moment. So some are, like I know Jasmine's actually submitted hers already for Caloundra, but I know down here in Sydney a lot of the councils are making it a bit or like extending the application opportunity for a little bit longer. So yeah, if you want to start researching people in your council, primarily the waste and sustainability team, that's a really good place to start.
Cool, thanks.
What week will we be doing permits and stuff in the course outline?
I think so. Just have a look. So I know by the July 17th, which is week 3, is when we want to be submitting our event permit. So in week 1, we'll start to map the community and the council contacts, and then you'll start to touch base with council in week 1, and then week 2, get the permit, do your site registration and start on your risk assessment, and then week 3, you'll submit your permit, your site registration and your risk assessment.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Any other questions?
This wasn't so much a question, but just for anyone who hasn't yet checked out the Ellen MacArthur Foundation website that's on the Thinkific. It blew my mind, and I actually had a conversation the other night with some people who were starting up a vegan delivery thing, and they overheard me talking about Ecovative, the mushroom composite packaging, and they got super stoked and they were going to go check it out and see if they can use it for their business. So there's some awesome stuff in there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I've added in like this circular economy stuff because really when I started the organization, it was around like, let's just pick up rubbish around the waterways. But now, you know, that's really a band-aid solution, because if we don't stop it at the source, then it's just going to keep ending up there. And circular economy, as for those of you that have started the course content and for those of you that are yet to, it's all about like 3 principles really of designing waste and pollution out of the system, ensuring materials and goods are in use for longer, and then regenerating systems. So it's, you know, it's this really cool world that we're moving into, and big businesses are starting to incorporate circular principles to change the way we view waste, because it's such a valuable resource and we really shouldn't be throwing it away. So it's great to hear, Portia, that you've been able to start talking about it and sharing it in your day-to-day, because that's just as much what this course is about, is trying to like teach people about waste, because it's not a very interesting subject, but there's a lot of good that can come from it.
Could you put that in the follow-up email, that link?
It's in the Thinkific login. So when you do the Welcome Week course, Luke, it'll all be in there. But we'll send through tomorrow, Ina will send through like a reminder for everyone like of the things that need to be done. So first, it's the survey. We've had really good completion rates on that already, so thank you all so much. And then it's starting on the course content, so the Welcome Week. So you'll be sent through, there's a link to Thinkific, and you actually have to click through into that and then create an account. And then when you're in the account, Luke, you'll go into the course and it's broken down into welcome week, then week 1, 2, 3 and on. And in welcome week is the stuff that Portia's talking about, like the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. So the courses are kind of like each week they go through videos from me, YouTube videos, TED Talks, all different stuff that we hope you find really interesting. And also if anyone has anything to add to the course or like stuff that they want to share, obviously like the Facebook group or WhatsApp, whatever we figure out will be a place to share that, but we can also incorporate it into the course content too. Cool. So does anyone else have anything to add?
Sorry, it might be a stupid question. Is there that week 1, is that in the last email we've been sent out or just through the normal Google Drive?
Week 1, you don't have access to yet. It's just the welcome week. So once you submit your letter of acceptance at the end of the welcome week, we'll then verify it, and we'll probably aim to verify them all by whichever ones are submitted by Friday. And then you can have access hopefully for week 1 next week. But we're working like 1 week in front of you guys. So we're trying to make sure everything's working before you access it. So we'll hopefully get that a bit more, get a bit more ahead of you, so then we can open up more weeks so you can do them more frequently. But yeah. Any other questions? Obviously no question is a stupid question, Sarah. Cool. Well, yeah, so as I just touched on, if you haven't already, complete that survey, then jump on and do the welcome week. That'll go through all the circular economy stuff and setting your goals, and then for the course and for yourself. And then you'll do your letter of acceptance, which is basically like going through all the safety and the codes of conduct. And once you've read through all of that, you'll return that 1 letter signed and dated and submit it through Thinkific, and then we'll approve that, and then you'll have access to move on to week 1. Yeah, and week 1 officially starts next Friday. So we'll be releasing coursework every Friday. And then the webinars are every Tuesday or fortnight Tuesday, and we'll have the online platforms for everyone to ask questions regularly, but feel free to send us emails. Yeah, and start pondering your date and location, and maybe researching a little bit about who you want to touch base with council. Yeah, and our next webinar is on the 30th of June, so that's in 2 weeks' time. And as I said, it's just optional. If you want to jump on, it's really lovely to see you all and to chat. And the whole idea will be for you guys to share ideas and challenges and any wins that you're having as well. So yeah, jump on if you can. And if you don't, if there's anyone that wants to stay on to walk, we can walk you through how to log on to Thinkific, then just don't click off now. Otherwise, that's all from me. If anyone else has anything to add. Cool. All right. Well, this is very exciting. I'm so stoked to have you guys all on the team. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and I look forward to chatting over the next couple of weeks, and see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. See ya.
Thanks, AJ.
Thanks. Bye, AJ.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.